All right, welcome back. So this is the very last part, and you're probably wondering, how are you supposed to avoid all these induction traps? Because how are you going to spot them? I have shared in the past what these traps are. A lot of them are the same as the cesarean traps and the natural birth traps. But what you really need to know is that the best way to avoid the induction trap is to get past your fear, trust your body and your intuition, and hire a care provider who can sit on their hands. You need to avoid accidental membrane sweeps before labor, or your care provider accidentally breaking your waters by declining all cervix checks. This is incredibly important. You do not need cervical checks. I talked about this when I was telling you about true natural birth and the fact that your cervix is not a crystal ball. But also, there are some care providers out there who will accidentally strip your membranes. They're like, while I'm up there, I might as well just start getting things going. And they just do it. And there are also care providers that are like, while I'm up there checking the cervix, I'm going to pop that bag of waters because, you know, we need to get things going. Now, if you're in early labor and it's non-progressing and it was just one of those warm-ups and you went to the hospital and they popped your bag of waters, then suddenly you're on the clock, but baby wasn't ready to come. So now you're not having contractions. They're like, we need to induce you now because your bag of waters is gone. But they did it. So keep your pants on. I cannot stress this enough. If you want to have a true natural birth and avoid a C-section, avoid unnecessary interventions, the best way to do that is to keep your pants on. Do not allow them to check you. You don't need anybody to check you. You don't need to know cervical dilation. It is not linear. Your cervix will open and it will close and it will thin out when it's ready. And even if it thins out, it doesn't matter because your body is going to do its own process in its own way, and it's not the way that the textbook says. And even if it is the way the textbook says, you still don't need to do that because all it does is invites the undermining of your confidence, invites that fear. You get tricked into that induction that you didn't want one way or the other. And ultimately, your natural birth goes out the window. So finally, your empowered birth action step, if you should choose to take it, make sure that you're going through your workbook, as I said, but also take out that list of fears that you wrote on day one. So now, are there any more misconceptions or myths that have now been addressed and debunked in that list of fears? So we talked about the fears within true natural birth and understanding how your body works. And now we're going to talk about the pressure from the medical system side of things and the what if something goes wrong. So, for example, maybe you thought that induction was mandatory after 41 weeks, and now you know that you have the right to true informed consent. You can also ask those questions. I've given you the NABRI framework, and you have the guide to making decisions around all sorts of different medical interventions so that you don't get tricked. So, write that down. And make sure you're also writing in your workbook, do the exercises in there because those are going to help you with the next session, which is all about writing your effective birth plan. And thank you so much. If you have any questions, again, send them to hello@empoweringmomsbirth.com, and either myself or one of my team members or Empowered Birth Ambassadors will get back to you, and we will help you and find the additional resources that you need so that you can have this beautiful empowered birth experience. If you have any questions about induction, I can bring out a lot of resources on that. I do encourage you also to get Why Induction Matters by Rachel Reed. It's one of my favorite resources to give to my clients when they are considering induction, or if they've already had a traumatic induction, helping them to understand what happened to them. Jenny herself also had this book. She loved it. I got it for her birthday. She also summarizes it on her website, thebirthhousenetwork.com. So go check out her blog because she does talk a lot about induction. She has a lot of experience with that. And thank you so much for getting this far into the training. You know, a lot of moms, they don't even get to the first one, and you've already gotten to through session 3. So we're almost done. Okay. We've got a few more trainings. You're going to learn about how to write an effective birth plan. You're going to learn how to advocate for yourself with your care provider and understand the red flags you want to watch out for. And you're also going to understand why you don't want to just put your partner through a whole bunch of classes or what's going on, why they're still resisting your birth plan, or they don't know how to support you, even though you've been trying to tell them. You're going to get that piece as well. So keep going because we're almost done with the Empowered Birth Workshop. And I'm so proud of you for getting this far. And I'll see you soon.